Hello, welcome to the 115th episode of the Karstcast movie cast. Jeff,
The best one yet.
The best. That's really setting the bar high right off the bat, I guess. This better be the best one. That'll be the poll quote for this episode that I post on Twitter. Critics are saying this is the best one yet. Geniophobia is the fear of what? You have no idea.
I feel like this is a trick question, and I feel like the answer they want me to say is genies. And I feel like that can't be the answer.
I'm not saying anything.
Because first of all, genies aren't real, so how could you have a fear? I guess you could have a fear of them.
They sure are creepy, though. If you pass
They
by
are
like
creepy.
a bottle and you're like, what if there's a genie in there? I can imagine that being very
It needs to be like a very ornate bottle, though.
Yeah. And
You
someone's
pass
like,
just on the side of the road, there's just a very ornate lamp.
yeah. And they're like, fuck, if a genie pops up, I only have 2 wishes. I don't have 3 yet. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, geniophobia. It's the fear of blue jeans.
Close, but really making do without the soundboard. It's a fear of chins. Like
Chins.
Right. Who has a fear of chins? Like, how do you function in life without?
Yeah.
I guess they had a good pandemic. They got to,
honestly,
the geniophobia community.
Yeah, this was
had a good
great
2020.
Yeah, great year and a half for those people.
For that community, yeah.
Which it's not a community because they wouldn't like each other.
No, yeah.
They would not want to communicate. Like, are they fine?
Those? Yeah.
Do you think they're fine with beards? Or they know the chin's there, so they don't like it either way?
That's a good question. They must have like giant. It has to be like a big beard. I bet they love Christmas, but hate St. Patrick's Day because the leprechaun.
You said big beard. That sounds like the worst pirate name.
Right. First of all, have we made that joke yet? Or
no?
Big beard is a thing.
Big beard's a thing.
Big beard pirate. Looking it up. Big beard pirate Edward Teach, alternatively spelled Edward Thatch.
That's Blackbeard,
better known as Blackbeard, was an English pirate.
Big Beard.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
The more I'm reading, I just saw the first thing that popped up. That is Blackbeard.
What? Yeah, Big Beard is not a thing. No pirate went by Big Beard.
Showing results for Blackbeard. Do you want Big Beard? Yes, of course. Why would I want Blackbeard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Big Beard's a thing. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not at all. That's why when you're like, we made this joke? I'm like, why would we have made the joke Big Beard?
Me and Cookie were considering writing a pirate mockumentary because there's a lot of pirate material.
Right.
And I think Big Beard's in there as one of our bits. We have a list of a bunch of bits. And
I mean, I've taken a archaeology of piracy class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know a lot about pirates.
Blackbeard and stuff. So I was like, is Blackbeard common knowledge or am I just...
Yeah, no, Blackbeard's common knowledge, but
okay.
Yeah, well, there's other stuff like pirates didn't actually bury treasure. That's not a thing.
Yeah. Did they?
There's some other... Pretty much everything you learn about pirates that's factual makes them less cool.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Right.
It'd be pretty cool if, like, the wooden peg that in the eye patch.
The eye patch though,
that's a real
thing.
Yeah.
But the reason is because there was no like electricity on the boats.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have an eye patch over your eye so that it was permanently adjusted to darkness. So when you went below deck, you could flip it up and your eye would already be able to see instantly.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of water, today's news story is pretty fun. I'm excited to share it with you.
I'm ready.
I actually read this yesterday and was like, I should just say this on the podcast. The headline is, "This is the story of a man who jumped into Lake Michigan every day for nearly a year. He started one Saturday as the pandemic was raging. Then he just kept going. Never mind Chicago's winter."
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Like I
just kept
imagine he
going.
started in when it was warm and then
He did, yeah. Well, they tell the story. I think he was like really hungover. Woke up from like one of his kids' like graduations, I believe. And his wife was like upset with him. So she like kicked him out of the house, not permanently, but just was like, get out of
well,
the house.
I'm
Um,
guessing that's because he got very drunk at his kid's
yeah,
graduation
yeah, that's
based on the
probably.
only two facts you gave me.
He was very hungover. And just biked 3 miles to the lake and jumped in. And then he kept doing this every day for a year. And it's evolved to a point where he like, well, first of all, it's like obviously gained a following. I think people at the beach picked up on it and then told their friends. And he's grown this like organic following
But
as the guy who jumps in the lake at 10:30
okay,
every
but real
day.
quick,
Mhm.
the only way people would think that's interesting is if they themselves also went to the beach every day.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, because it seems like he sees the two same ladies there every day on their daily walk. That's kind of what the article said. And I
Mhm.
think his friends and family who knew about it would tell friends. And people just started like showing up to the lake because they want to be there at 10:30 to watch the lake guy jump in. Um, but it's evolved to this point where he gets local Chicago musicians to perform. And while they're performing, he does his jump and people jump in.
So now other people jump in.
Some people do. Yeah. I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah.
That's a picture of him. Um,
I'm assuming he's the one jumping in, not
he is
the
the one jumping in.
with
Yeah.
the
That's,
guitar.
that's not just a random guy, but, I brought this up because I think today was his final day, his 365th day. Um, so
That's
good for,
wow, congratulations, I guess. I mean, it's
yeah.
sad for the people that show up tomorrow expecting him to do it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if I were in his position, I don't know when to. Well, he says this in the article. He's like he didn't mean to do it every single day. He just like he was like I don't know when I'm gonna stop doing it. And he's got
Yeah.
like an obsessive personality and really liked the attention and the. It was like first of all, the article is much less like a gimmicky thing and more like a this is how this man decided to escape the pandemic
Right.
article.
Um
And yeah,
so you know what this is, right?
what?
This is my octopus teacher. It's the same thing. It's just there's
Same.
no octopus
It's
in
the
Lake
same
Michigan.
thing, but he's in there very briefly. He's formed
Yeah.
maybe this whole time he has formed an attachment with some critter in there, and they've just disguised it as this feel good story.
I mean,
but instead he's
like,
having an affair with his.
it's yeah, it's actually probably some like corpse that's like at the bottom
Jesus
from the
Christ.
70s.
He's been trying to cover up this crime by going there every day, and he's gained a following. And he's like, oh fuck, and people are like, yo, we'll join you. We'll jump in too. And he's like, no,
He's like,
please.
yeah, he's like, yeah, do it, but like jump over that way.
Yeah, he's like, you guys
Like,
go
this
over
is
there.
my spot.
This is my spot. Yeah. I'm just amazed that like he did this in the winter and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a video.
So,
yeah.
yeah, for people that don't know, Chicago is like frozen tundra during the winter.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Like Lake Michigan is straight up just sheet ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how he did that.
There's a clip. Do you want me to share my screen for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I love sharing my screen today because you get to see Big Beard in the Google search.
Yep. And Nestor Carbonell.
Yeah. Wait. Why was that? Oh, yeah. Never mind. Now I remember who that is. Let's get back to this. So he looks like he dug like a hole, or like shoveled it. It's a very narrow puddle to jump in, and he looks like he's like having a tough time getting out, if I'm being honest. And then he poses for a photo. Yep.
Yeah, that's certainly a thing.
Yeah, he definitely made a name for himself in an interesting way.
Been in Lake Michigan a few times.
Me too. I've been thinking about going there recently to jump in.
Yeah. Oh, no. This is a perfectly normal time of the year to do that.
Yeah.
Just don't do that in 6 months.
No. I like, yeah, I was really strongly considering going to the lake today to watch him do the final one because apparently they were gonna have like pulled pork and like tacos and have a whole celebration. And I really wanted to go
Yeah.
see it. And apparently he did it off of a ladder today, which let me just say is like dangerous because that
Yeah.
water's not that deep. It's like
Yeah.
15 feet, they said. So
They should have had like a big band play or something like.
well, that's what I thought. He like this New York Times article really hyped it up. They were like, according to him, he was like, I have some really special planned for this last jump.
What if it was like someone just completely ran? What if it was Less Than Jake?
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. It was just like I think like a pop band from like the 90s or something.
Yeah.
I've heard of them. I've never heard any Less Than Jake songs, but it's definitely a band.
Yeah. Less Than Jake. I looked it up. It's not anyone I know.
Well, you
I
also
thought
didn't know Less Than Jake.
I didn't know Less Than Jake. So I guess that says a lot.
So really, there's a lot of bands you don't know.
I really thought it'd be like Kanye West or something performing as he jumped
That
into
actually
the lake.
would have been insane.
Yeah, big Chicago send off. But
Yeah.
it's just some guy with a guitar. So
Wait, that guy with the
anyways.
guitar was the picture from his send off?
No. There's a different picture from the send off. I just closed
It's
the
a
tab.
different guy with the guitar.
Different guy with the guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So good for him. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll keep going. They don't really say if he's going to keep going. So tomorrow might be the day to show up. I'll be there at 10:30 sharp and see if he jumps in to the lake.
If he doesn't jump in, though, there's going to be other people who show up and you're all going to be disappointed. So, Karsten, I'm going to propose this to you.
I'm going to be the guy.
You jump into the lake.
Whatever happens, I'm jumping in his spot tomorrow.
What if you just take over and do it for a year straight?
I was about to
yourself?
say, like, I could be the next guy. And then the New York Times is like, no, we're not going to report this on you because we don't know. It's not as cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it in a slightly separate spot and hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go to like, you what if you just did it from a spot that you didn't have a ladder so you couldn't get back up?
This guy jumped in the lake every day and swam around until he could find the ladder for 365 days. I forget where the ladder is every day.
You're like, little help.
Someone just pulls a prank and like reassigns the ladder every time I go.
Mm-hmm.
Reassigns isn't the word, but
moves
the ladder. Yeah, that's simple. I saw you thinking we both
yeah. We got there though. We got
there. Well, we might. That was the news today. It's been just a slow movie.
It's
week,
been
I guess. So
yeah. We didn't have any movie news for you.
No. But
although I want to say that now that I've gotten the final logistics and I will out of the way, our Karstcast social media accounts, our Karstcast TikTok, our Karstcast Instagram reels. By the time you see this, there will be a new one, and they will be in perpetuity being released because I tried to manually caption them, and that's impossible. That's a bad idea.
It's a really bad idea.
So I'm just gonna pay like $12 a month.
That's not
to have it done by itself.
No. We'll factor that in the budget.
But speaking of that, I thought that we should try to come up with right now, because to do it across Instagram and TikTok, I think Instagram only lets you do 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be like 30-second clips that we're going to be uploading.
Yeah.
So I think that we need a 30-second clip right now that I can use.
Okay. Of us talking about what?
I don't know. Like I thought you would have an idea for that.
Yeah. Shit. Why'd you think I would?
That's a cool Dyson fan. You have a string as well.
Yeah, I got this string. Now the cool thing about this is that we can. No, I'm not gonna do this. This is so dumb. I was gonna blow the string in the fan to prove that it works.
Do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the fan is gonna blow the string. See, it's one of those things where you can't see the fan move.
No, this isn't. I thought this was the mic. This isn't great podcast content. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it wasn't, especially because you weren't talking into the mic for.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Rather than
so we're
making
gonna.
that a
I'm not
highlight,
gonna make
I might
a
just
highlight
cut
of that.
that.
Yeah,
That's
so,
the
okay.
opposite of a highlight.
Yeah, so we'll give this one last shot. We need like a 30 second. It could be a little bit longer, and I can cut it down. But let's think of like a good TikTok. Nice
Let's see.
hair. What hair products do you use?
This is why we don't have a following.
Yeah, you know what?
This is why we don't. This is why things haven't taken off.
This was disappointing.
Was this the thing you had planned, by the way?
It was, yeah. I was just gonna. I figured we'd come up with something better.
No, we really don't have much.
Yeah, this is
we
why
go off
I
the
didn't
notes.
do improv
No.
myself. I just
This is
know
why
people
I
who do
also
improv.
I also didn't make I auditioned for the improv team, for the record, and humiliated myself up there.
Now, I'm going to flip this and say that you were better than them and they humiliated themselves by not putting you on the team.
I need you to understand, Jeff. I am not good at improv. I'm bad. I went up there. We had to do like a 5-minute scene. And I would like to say this was not just me. It was me and Jaxie paired together. Both of us do not know how to do improv. And we just kind of sat there. I think one of us died within the first minute in the improv scene, which is like number one, don't usually.
Yeah, right. Because then you can't.
Then it's a one person thing. I think at some point I was like,
okay, I do need to know this real quick. Who killed who?
Jaxie killed me, and I sat on the ground.
Okay, that's Jaxie's fault. We're throwing Jaxie under the bus.
I think I was.
All you were doing was yes anding. You said yes, and I'm dead.
I didn't even know yes and was a thing until last year. I didn't
It's literally like the one rule,
one thing everyone knows. Yeah, and we did not follow that. I did okay. There was this one. Part of the audition was to come up with you had to come up with a character every 3 seconds. Like they would say go, and then after 3 seconds, like snap your finger.
Yeah,
and you have to do a new character. I did okay at that. Just because.
All right. Let's go.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. Have you ever tried improv though, Jeff?
Yeah. I tried it. Because it's like a thing to do when you go to Chicago, you move there, you take one improv class just because it's like a Chicago thing to do. Then you realize you're bad at it, so you stop.
Well, more importantly, I'm actually more curious. Have you done an open mic before?
No.
Okay. Because listen, and this might be humiliating to say in public, but I've been considering going to an open mic one of these nights.
You should do it.
Yeah. I just don't.
You know what? Actually, your first joke needs to be, I hear talking spreads the coronavirus as you're talking in front of a crowd.
I'm writing that down. That's actually kind of funny. It's gonna bomb. Everybody's gonna leave.
Gonna bomb.
Yeah, it's gonna bomb.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I know. Well, here's the thing. There's two. One, I'm going to do. Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever told the story. But freshman year, I had friends in my dorm who started a secret comedy club in their dorm room called the Goof Gallery. And
so it's like a Dead Poet Society for
comedy. Yeah. And it was an open mic situation. Mm-hmm. And I performed and I told a story that I'm not going to tell on this podcast. I might tell, I won't tell the whole story, but I'll tell you what it was about after this, because it's a really, really embarrassing story, but it killed. So, that went well.
Yeah.
And I just figured, I could, yeah. But anyways, what I was going to say is that Cookie is hosting a backyard stand-up event that I will be performing at.
You absolutely have to perform.
Yeah, I have to come up with some material
if it's filmed, send it to me.
Oh, I'm going to have someone film it. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Send it to me.
Definitely nervous. Even here's the thing. It's it's just going to be our buds. It's going to just be a hangout, but we're doing it for ourselves. And that's more stressful because it's I don't want to bomb in front of my friends, because that's it's way worse than bombing in front of strangers. And I'm more comfortable with bombing in front of strangers because I can handle that.
You don't know them.
I don't know them, and I'll leave and never see them again. But yeah.
Unless they comment on your YouTube videos.
Yeah, unless someone films it and posts it on YouTube and they're like, Karsten Runquist.
Karsten Runquist bombs.
Bombs live on stage. Says talking is the best way to spread the
if that gets
coronavirus.
posted. If that gets posted on the internet, someone's gonna make a letterboxd for it.
Oh yeah. And it'll
get all 5 stars and be the highest rated film on Letterboxd. It's like move over Parasite. We have a new #1 film.
And
Karsten Runquist bombing
live at the Lincoln Lodge. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's enough intro for today.
Yeah. I love how you make it sound like there's a quota. I mean, there is a little bit, but you're like, all right, no more intro.
No more intro.
To our film.
We're done. And honestly, this film will be a lot of fun to talk about. I need you. Okay. I'll just say it. Today we're talking about Ma, the 2000, what is it? 18 or 19? 2019.
I think Letterboxd has it as 19.
Okay. 2019 horror film directed by Tate Taylor, who, let me get this one out of the way, is the director of The Help. And the synopsis reads: a lonely middle-aged woman befriends some teenagers and decides to let them party in the basement of her home. But there are some house rules. One of the kids has to stay sober, don't curse, and never go upstairs.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, say it.
I was just going to say, featuring the house rules in that synopsis, it seems kind of overkill, since that's definitely not that important part of the film.
Not at all.
Except for one of them.
Not at all. They must also refer to her as Ma, but they don't have to. She never actually says, you got to call me Ma.
Yeah.
That's such a random thing to throw in the, but as Ma's hospitality starts to curdle into obsession, what began as a teenage dream turns into a terrorizing nightmare, and Ma's place goes from the best place in town to the worst place on earth. That sounded like it was going to end with a zinger, and it did not. It did not end in any catchy way.
Yeah, and also it called drinking in some random woman's basement a teenage dream.
Also, without a doubt, not the worst place on earth. There's some worse places that you could be than Ma's basement.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the movie, would you have gone to Ma's basement if you were in high school there?
Yeah, fuck it.
I think you would have.
If it was one of the early days, I would go to Ma's.
Right. No, the early days were kind of lit. Like the first couple times were
early days.
Fun.
There were no issues. Ma's was like the spot.
Right. What you do, the way you play it is you go to Ma's like the first, couple weeks.
Yeah.
You don't ever talk to Ma. You try to avoid Ma so you don't become the focus of it. Because think about this, right? And we're kind of, this film, you could talk about it any way you want. It's not, I don't think we need to go in any kind of chronological order.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you've probably seen the film.
You've seen the film, and who gives a shit about spoiling?
Right. It's not, no one cares.
We're not going to spoil it.
There's a bunch of kids that went to this, to Ma's, that actually just had a great time. Nothing negative happened. The majority,
lived to tell the tale. Yeah. That's literally. I don't know.
Like that one girl who had a birthday at Ma's seemed like she had a great time. I mean, okay, Ma stole her bracelet, but other than that, she had a great time.
That's what I'm saying. I'd feel comfortable. Just it's like going into the ocean. No shiny objects on you. Just show up to Ma's and try to avoid Ma. And if it's that big of a group, it's you're in the clear.
Also, don't be too hot because Ma's gonna try to fuck you up.
Ma would try to, which is unfortunate. I guess don't go to. No, if you're coming in from out of town and your parents have no chance of knowing Ma when you were younger, it's you're golden, dude. Just go to Ma's,
Dude, so what if you see Ma's basement on one of those underground dive bar Twitter accounts?
It's have you seen those Chicago hidden gem TikToks? You see it, it's one of Chicago's hidden gems is Ma's.
Dude, so a lot of those hidden gems though are not at all hidden, right?
They're not hidden.
3 dots and a dash. hidden gem just because like the entrance is in an alley, but it's one of the 10 most popular bars downtown.
A hidden gem would be the park we recorded at. And someone should be like,
Hamlin.
hidden gem, this is the park that Karstcast has recorded 2 episodes at, you know?
So, hidden gem, Carson Runquist's apartment. They just have your address.
They're just doxing me. I just come out of my apartment. I'm like, what the fuck? What is a hidden gem? Do you actually have like a hidden gem of Chicago for anybody who
of Chicago? Damn, I'm sure I could if this was if this was like a pre-prepared segment we had.
Yeah.
Which would have been like a really cool casual thing to get into where like we like seamlessly transitioned into this, but we actually planned it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately that's not what happened.
It's not what happened. I will say mine. Mine is and I've plugged this place many times on the podcast. Jeff's been there. I'm gonna say Tony's Burrito Tex-Mex.
Yeah, okay. I mean that works. That's
Tony's
fair.
Is a hidden gem. Tony's is a gem for sure.
Oh, actually, I do have one thing. There's like a giant like open area behind. No, I'm not gonna say this. It's behind a high school, so it makes it sound like I walk around high schools all the time.
Wait. Is this DePaul College Prep or no?
No, it's like the really big Castle High School. It's like the #1 high school in Chicago.
Is it
it's
the
on Addison.
one? Yeah. That's
it looks
DePaul
like a castle.
College Prep.
No, that's like it's like Lane High School.
But in that area does have like, a lot of nice places.
Yeah, it's really nice to walk in the area behind that high school.
Yep.
It's like a giant open park along like the river.
Yep.
And there's
I agree.
A really cool boathouse.
Yep. I biked that trail that goes like
there's a mountain
river.
biking trail back there.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. You guys should check
now
it
I
out.
will say that the park with the mountain bike trail, every time I walked by there were high schoolers doing drugs.
Oh. See, when I biked there one time, I haven't gone back because it's kind of out of the way. But I was like, this, if I was in high school, this would be the spot. This would, but now it's
to do drugs.
I mean, it's no Maz, but it is. Yeah. So that's funny that you. Imagine being a high schooler, high as shit, and you see Jeff from the Karstcast.
Yeah.
Anyways,
with my hat on.
With your hat on.
I was like, I just point to everyone and go like, catch on the flip side. Catch on the.
They're like, he said the thing. Yeah.
Okay, back to Maz.
For the first time in a long time, I did not write any notes for today for the movie because I figured we would just fly through this. There's just endless things to talk about. But I don't know where to start, to be honest.
Well, did you like it?
No. Well, okay. I will say, and you haven't seen Cruella, but I just did put out a video on it. I didn't really like Cruella that much. Cruella was like pitched to me as this fun movie. Like it's so stupid and bad that it's fun. And I didn't have that much fun with it. And Ma was exactly what that was. I'm not saying Ma's a good movie. It's terrible. Like technically it's so shitty.
Yeah.
But I was not bored once. And that's the most I can say about it, I feel.
Yeah. Now, this is one of those things where I can't let you have a full pass without bringing this back up. But how do you pronounce Cruella?
Cruella.
Because you really speed it up and just skip the U.
Cruella. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. And also I just learned this today. I pronounced it in my entire video, Cruella de Vil. And it is.
No, you did not. No, you did not.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I said DeVille for 9 minutes straight.
No way. That is
this video,
unbelievable.
For a lot of reasons, I cannot touch on one of them. Is it? It is definitely. It's yeah. We're gonna move on.
Okay, you did that on purpose, right?
No,
like
I didn't.
Trolling?
No, I said DeVille.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like if you did say DeVille, you were doing that as a troll to like trick people.
I thought it was DeVille.
Do they not say the correct pronunciation in the film?
No, they say it a few times in the film. They don't say it that much. But Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is actually the funniest thing you could have done. I'm gonna.
Well, I got Ma right. I said Ma the right
Yeah.
way. I didn't say Ma.
Yeah.
We watched Mad. Yeah.
We should do that one time. Both of us intentionally get the pronunciation of the film wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example.
We're just like the Farwell.
The the fart well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Ma,
Ma.
this was a really dumb movie for a
It's
lot of
so
reasons.
dumb.
I will
Now,
say, okay, no, you say it. You say it.
Okay, I'll say. I just based on what you said, right? I wasn't bored, but that's because the emotion and like the feeling of boredom was replaced by this overwhelming sense of anxiety, but not in the way that is like fun in a movie.
Yeah.
It's the sense that this was the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. you know what I mean?
It was, okay, let me
Well,
ask
I was like
you.
embarrassed that people had to act this out as a story.
Oh, I was definitely embarrassed for the casting crew of this.
Yeah.
I would like to add while we're on it, like Octavia Spencer is not just the lead, but she is, I think, one of the main producers behind this. Like she believed in this project pretty hard. Yeah. Also, Allison Janney, who's like fresh off an Oscar win for I, Tanya, randomly in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like it's pretty bad. Would you say this is the worst thing you've watched on this podcast, or is Kazam still there?
Kazam's still worse.
Still there. Yeah.
Because the thing about this, right, is that we both agreed this film's not boring.
No, this is
Kazam is literally boring.
Kazam's a fucking haul to get through.
Yeah. And it's amazing that they could make a film where you have Shaquille O'Neal as a genie using magical powers,
and it's still
which genophobia
are not a fan of Kazam.
Yeah,
they're the only ones that hate it more than us.
I couldn't come up with like a joke that made sense fast enough. I'm just like, wait a second. Earlier you said genophobia.
Yeah, I was like, what are the odds we brought up the genie movie?
Yeah,
again.
But yeah, this film is not boring, but I think that almost makes it worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I want to talk about one part of this film that really pissed me off and confused me, and it's these flashbacks to give context to Ma's character, which first of all are like the most generic cliche flashback you could think of. They literally look like they threw on like the Final Cut Pro default filter. And two, why are we being shown this as if like we need to defend Ma and get behind her? I'm like, Ma's the villain.
I think that the film would have made more sense if we just never saw any of the flashbacks and they kept it as this ambiguous story.
Ambiguous thing, yeah.
Because it's weird because I felt like the flashbacks were trying to make Ma relatable and they made her less relatable because the thing she was mad about was like a stupid one-time thing, which granted would absolutely be traumatizing, but I don't know if I buy that as someone's entire life going
crazy
and absolutely like what it would be like whatever she was doing to her daughter.
Yeah. Whose name
is Jeannie. Jeannie.
Oh my God.
What is happening?
The jokes write themselves.
That's what we'll say because I can't come up with any.
Yeah. But the thing about it is like those dream sequences were not even the one part of the film where they want you to empathize with Ma, because there's like all these random moments where everyone's shitting on Ma and like she's driving and gets hits with the cups and I'm like, poor Ma, but I'm like, no, what? Like, what does this movie want you to feel about Ma?
Yeah. I'm guessing they wanted us to like empathize, but
it's
you
like
can't. It's not. There's not enough there to empathize.
She's
It's
so
like a
weird.
film that would show you like someone cutting off someone in traffic, and then
Mhm.
later that person starts like murdering some people,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
see, but he got cut off in traffic. Like, come on. Come
Can
on.
a
Wouldn't you
guy
do the
do
same
this?
thing? Like,
Can a guy
you
let off some
understand.
steam? Yeah. Yeah. Um.
That's the film we should make when we team up as a directing duo. It's just
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah.
gets cut off in traffic.
Call it road rage.
And then it's like in court, the judge is like, come on, he was just letting off steam. And
Come
then he gets off.
on. Can a guy? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. This movie was also, I will say, it's like it's just funny. It's just funny to watch. I don't know. I really feel bad if it was genuinely trying to be like a horror movie with like scares, because none of the scares work, and it doesn't get like gory or like frightening until the end, debatably, because like the end isn't that.
Even the things she does are funny.
Yeah, they're yeah. Like I don't know. It was weird.
Like sewing the mouth shut and then like painting the face white.
Yeah. That scene, that little specific part was weird. That was very weird, because it's not, I was like, is that super glue or is that just white paint? It was just white paint. And I was like, that is such a
I'm guessing it was supposed to imply that it's permanent.
Yeah, I guess.
But I wasn't sure.
I know. I was like, that's not how that works.
I'm like, also, if you stitch someone's mouth closed, you straight up can just get scissors and cut where their lips are.
Yeah, I was about to say that one was super easy to heal. Like most of I'm like, these are not like these are not scary.
And then like she like put the iron on him, and they're like, oh, he's gonna be super messed up, and then like it just like, oh, it's like a bit bloody.
Yeah. Ma killed one person in this movie, and it was the jogger, and we never hear about
and the
again.
cop.
And the cop. But didn't the cop? No, the cop died.
Okay, the jogger scene was hilarious.
The jogger scene was like that was like peak comedy. The way it just kept, because first of all, the whole sequence of backstory to give context for that, and then hitting her, and then calling her what she does, and then playing September. I was just like, this is a phenomenal scene.
if they cut that like 2 minutes of the film and submitted it as a short film, I think it would have won awards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, let me check something real quick. Because I think this premiered at some prestigious festival, unless I'm wrong. It did not. I take it back. I thought it did. You know what? Let's just forget I said that. But I will say, I have seen that specific scene of her hitting the jogger multiple times on Twitter.
But because it's funny.
Yeah, because people repost it all the time is ridiculous. On Twitter.
That's not even how people get hit by cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not what happens physically. Like, this
it didn't
person
make any
gets,
sense.
Somehow it looked like she was driving 100 miles an hour when she was clearly driving like 30.
Yeah.
And she just like smashed the person, but then somehow also ran them over in one motion.
Yeah.
And usually people get like hit where they just like get knocked.
Yeah. And then they
go on the windshield, depending, I don't know. It
didn't make a lot
it was
of
funny.
Sense. It was funny. There's the other scene that I've seen a lot, which is her on FaceTime saying, "Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink."
Which I didn't understand all of the word. Like, was that supposed to be like Snapchats?
I have no idea. That's all the technology in this movie is so outdated and weird. Not even dated. It's like current shit, but like they don't know what.
But it's not done in a way that is realistic, because no apps function that way.
No, because that one girl like she like broadcasts herself or something and is like, don't go to Maz. Like, she's crazy. And somehow Ma sees it like immediately.
Right. And I'm like, and it's like, why would you send that to Ma?
Yeah. I'm like, where is Ma watching this from? And what? Yeah.
And then even that scene, the way it's written was weird. It's like then Ma was blasting it through her phone, and then the woman next to her was like,
a foot
stop.
Massage. She was like, shut up.
Like, I can't tell. Was that supposed to be funny?
I have no idea. That's the thing. It's like if this was intentionally funny, this was hilarious. This movie, it was hilarious as is. I'm just like,
Yeah.
but genuinely, like so much of this feels sincere.
Right.
Yeah. There's also the "Don't make me drink alone" thing. She says that, and then what's his face? The guy's dad. They like get drinks together to catch up, and the first thing he says is, "Don't make me drink alone, ma." And I'm like, how does he know about that? Like, when did he? It's just, there's a lot of weird things in here.
Also, the dialogue for every
terrible.
character seems like it was written by someone who's never talked to anyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like all the high school dialogue was written by someone who's never been in a high school.
No, this was 100% written by like a bunch of like 30-year-old people.
Or like one of those AI writing things. It kind of feels like it was
by an AI.
It does kind of feel like it was though.
Well, that's the thing.
Like if you showed this movie to someone and then they were like, "Hey, by the way, this was actually generated by AI," you'd be like, "Actually, that kind of makes sense."
Yeah. Is there anything else to say about Ma? I guess none
How
of the jump scares
about Tate Taylor?
Tate. I mean, crazy name right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean,
Tate
great
Taylor.
alliteration.
Yeah, born in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now, and he did The Help, and not a lot of other things I've seen, to be honest. But good. It seems like Tate Taylor's had a very successful career, so that's good. Yeah. That's my. What is your opinion on Tate Taylor?
I have no opinion.
Okay. That's
So anyways, what kind of rating are you gonna, unless you have any other thoughts on
not Ma? That I can think of. We could honestly talk about Ma
now
for a long time, but we're not gonna.
Well, last thing I will say is that after seeing this, I wish that instead of what it was a documentary on Yo-Yo Ma, the cellist.
And the movie's called Mama.
It's just, or even just Ma, like, you know.
I also just realized there is just one Ma in Yo-Yo Ma, but I got
that's why I was like,
Yo-Yos. It could just be Ma. It could just be Ma.
But maybe the yo-yo was bringing Ma back like a yo-yo, so that's why it's Ma. So it makes sense.
Down Ma, up Ma. Yeah. There's a Anyways, I would like to say one last thing. I was just waiting until, because her real name in the movie is Sue Ann. So I kept waiting until they dropped that first Ma. And the origins of how she gets the name Ma could not be more underwhelming and also not make sense at all. It's like one of the kids is like, "Damn Ma" or something.
Which did not feel
natural.
It did not feel organic in any way.
Yeah. What was the specific line was, "Damn Ma, don't you have a job?"
Yeah.
I'm like, these kids don't talk like that.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's Ma. What I gave this a 1.5 personally.
That's what I gave it.
Yeah, I thought it's really bad, but I will not lie, it was fun. I would honestly watch this again if a bunch of my friends wanted to. Yes. Honestly, come October, horror movie marathon month, I'm throwing this in there to give like a nice palate cleanser and get goofy.
No, I agree 100%. As a horror film, like with a large group of friends, this would be very fun. As a horror film to watch alone and actually like be afraid of, terrible.
So that's Ma. Cool. We will get into questions then. Do we have a jingle for today, or are we not going to do the jingle?
I don't have.
I'm not going to do the jingle. You know what? I'll just play the jingle from last. Ta-da! Questions. Cool. Listen, I have something I do want to say. We have a lot of $15 patron questions in the May thread, and we are halfway through June. So it's just that patron it's going to get clogged if we have to go through all of the May, and I want to have to get through everybody who's a $15 patron. Yeah. So if you have a question in the May thread and you're a $15 patron, either re-ask it or just like post it in the June thread that we have.
Right.
Because I want to make sure we get
That's
to
fair.
everybody rather than the same people over and over again. So that's
Yep.
just, it's a messy way of handling this, but I'm like, we got to get through this.
Mhm.
So today's, this one comes from $15 patron Gavin Henderson, and it is, what's the scariest film you've ever seen? And when I say scary, I mean something that's literally made you lose sleep. Have we answered this actually? Or
Like the scariest film we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have. If not, it's not been for a long time.
Mine, well, the one that I saw, my parents obviously were just like, did not let me watch horror movies for a while. But and I think it's because one night they were watching The Ring on TV. And I was very young when I saw The Ring. And it legitimately traumatized. Like, I was very scared for a long time at that movie. That was a very scary movie to me. I should rewatch it to see if it's still scary. But when I was a child, that was like the most traumatizing shit I've ever seen.
We're in the same boat because I don't, besides this podcast, I pretty much never watch horror films. Yeah. And also, I think that there is an age qualification to be traumatized or like really afraid of a film.
Yeah.
And it's in that like 3 to 14-ish age range.
Yeah.
Because like once you're an adult, you're like, this is a movie.
Yeah.
I'm not that afraid of it. So for me, so it's always going to be like when you walk in on your parents watching a scary film. So the film for me that like I walked in when I was very young and saw my parents watching, which was terrifying at the time, was Schindler's List.
Oh my God. That's bad. That's not great.
Right? So that's not a film that you should watch when you're, whatever, 5 years old.
Yeah. No, that's have you revisited Schindler's List?
No,
since?
I've never
went back. No.
Wow.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good answer. I would say like I was also very afraid of Finding Nemo when I was a kid.
Okay, that's stupid. That's on you.
You can imagine what The Ring did to me.
Okay, I also had like a kids movie that I was afraid of growing up. Fox and the Hound. It's just because it's like so it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
No, or is it the ending? It's the ending,
I understand.
Right? That's traumatizing.
I know there's like
I forget. I blocked it out mentally.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it since I was really young, and I will never see it again.
Yeah. Cool. This next one comes from Kitchen AD776. It comes from the subreddit r/Karstcast, and it is, what is your favorite saying? For example, mine is, he's a regular Joe Schmo, just because it's so absurd and funny sounding. I have a lot. I'm going to only pick like a few, but I do have a lot of like favorite sayings. I think though I go through phases. I don't have them at the top of my head right now, but the one that I've been saying a lot is, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think that's a fun thing to say.
Yeah, no, I feel like Minnesota is a state that is heavy on sayings.
Yeah. Well, I think sayings are hilarious because they're just so, it's so funny to respond to something with like something that sounds completely irrelevant, but is like the way of answering it. Like, I'm buying what you're selling about something random.
Do you ever just make up sayings?
Like
I'm liking the taste of that pancake.
You're grilling my eggs. No,
What would that mean? That like they're making you mad, or
yeah, you're grilling my eggs right now.
Because like you're not. Are you not supposed to grill eggs, or?
I don't. No. I mean, no, you're definitely not supposed to.
So then with the, I don't even. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a very layered one.
Yeah, I just came up with it on the spot. Right. You're grilling my eggs is not a bad saying. Yeah.
Or what about your brother must be a lumberjack?
That's really funny. Hold on. I'm going to look up popular sayings and see if a dime a dozen. Though these aren't funny.
Yeah. The ones we came up with were better.
Yeah. You're grilling my eggs. You're grilling my eggs here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I'd better get on my horse. What is that?
That's like, it means you need to speed up.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. You're never mind. I was trying to come up with more. This last one comes from Born Bucket 93, and it is, do you like cooking?
I feel ashamed every time we get asked a cooking question.
Yeah.
Because I can only cook a few things. And I'm trying, you know what, I'm gonna learn at some point. Absolutely. Definitely next time I live alone, I will cook a lot more, because then I don't feel self-conscious because I have the entire kitchen to myself, right? Because when I just lived with people like last year, I felt like embarrassed because I was worse at cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to look like an idiot, especially because both their rooms were like right next to the kitchen. I was like, I can't do this.
I feel the exact same way, Jeff. That is exactly why I don't cook a lot. Because I'm just like, I don't want to use like the wrong pan and have someone be like, you're not supposed to use that pan. And me being like, all right. Because I'm just like, I'm very unfamiliar, especially when all the shit is like not your own and you're like sharing pans and stuff.
Right. You don't want someone to walk in and say, you're grilling my egg. You're grilling my eggs over there. You're not supposed to. You need to use this skillet.
Hey, stop grilling my eggs.
And then you're like, your brother's a lumberjack.
Yeah. He's like, what? Is my brother some kind of lumberjack to you or something? He's like, oh, for Pete's sake. Sorry.
And then you're like, well, I better get on my horse.
Get you on the flip side.
Yeah, that's mine. That's the one I use a lot.
That is, yeah.
Now, I want to clarify something, because I think this is not something everyone knows about me. I don't actually say that in real life. I know it's disappointing to hear, but I don't just like walk around and like whenever I leave any room, I'm like, hey guys, catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. Jeff and I actually, we've answered this a few times, but we don't know why we said that in the first episode. But and it's not even me, it's Jeff. Jeff is the one that just said it. And for some reason we kept saying it. It's just like the guy that jumped in the lake, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
Kept going.
You're right. I am like that guy.
Yeah. You pick up on patterns and I don't know. But
I jump in lakes.
Yeah. Now that's we did answer about do you like cooking, Jeff? Or
I think I will in the future. Now my brother is obsessed with cooking. He briefly worked for a cookware company.
Yeah.
As like their social media person, so he had to like help people with their cooking problems. He has like tons of pans. He like cooks really good like steaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you ever are hanging around Jared, have him cook for you.
Yeah, have him make you a steak, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. I enjoy cooking when I do it, but you know, I just don't do it a lot.
Right.
But hopefully next year. And that does it for questions. We are going to wrap things up. Firstly, we'd like to read a review. We encourage you guys to leave reviews because we love hearing what you have to say about the podcast. And this one comes from patron and 100 gift subs on Twitch user Vegard Strom. Yeah, one of the MVPs of this community and fan base. Shout out to Vegard Strom. And the review reads, well, the subject line is nice, 5 stars, and it reads, Karstcast movie cast is very nice. Jeff is very funny, and Karsten can be funny sometimes. I just hope Karsten can get to Jeff's level of movie knowledge. Overall, 5 out of 5 stars. Thank you, Vegard.
Thank you, Vegard. It would have been very funny if Vegard Strom gave us a 1-star review.
Yeah, Vegard has supported us so much and then just shits on the podcast. Unchartable.
It's like honestly the worst podcast ever. I give them money because I feel bad for them.
He's like, we keep giving them money and they're not improving the podcast. We're trying. Yeah. Well, thank you, Vegard.
Yep.
Our money is going into these caption services so we can promote the podcast on TikTok.
Yep.
Great.
And
Thank you.
a few other things
And more things than that
lined
was,
up in the next few months.
Yeah. Cool. And next, we'd like to announce the next movie. Jeff, do you have any ideas? If not, I have one we could do.
My only request, because I have a couple I could suggest, but I'm fine with whatever you want to do, as long as it's not another horror film, because we've really been doing this weird summer horror festival.
Yeah, we've been doing horror movie after horror movie, and I think Ma is the perfect movie to end on, as it is. It seems like it's back in our wheelhouse of films that we usually talk about, as in it's very stupid. So I'm open to a lot. The big hit of this week is In the Heights. It's a musical. It is a Lin-Manuel musical. I don't know if you have any strong feelings on him.
I'm one of the few people that does not have strong feelings, I think.
Okay.
On Lin-Manuel.
Well, it's supposed to be a pretty good musical. So we could either watch that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or we could do Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway.
Well, will I have to have seen Peter Rabbit 1?
I don't know. I didn't see Peter Rabbit 1, so we should honestly just probably watch this one. But do you have other suggestions?
No, I think my suggestion was going to be Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, the Disney Channel original movie from 1999. So yours is a bit more topical.
Yeah. Wait, Xenon, how do you spell it?
With a Z.
Xenon Girl. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Wait, I've seen this.
Well, I think everyone has if they're over the age of 20.
Well, let's do that after next week. How about that?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean there's actually 3 of them. There's Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, Xenon the Sequel, and Xenon Z3.
The sequel is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. It is.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think we'll just stick to the OG.
We'll do Xenon Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be 2 weeks from now. Next week we'll do
In the Heights, which
is
available on HBO Max for free, or not for free. You have to pay for HBO Max, or if you want to support, it is also playing in theaters. I'm going to see it in theaters personally.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah. Now, last point I'm going to make before we, we catch them on the flip side is that. Well, we also do the patrons. Yeah. So anyways, last point I'm going to make before we actually finally wrap this up, even though we've had a great time, I love talking to Karsten. He's one of my favorite people.
Thanks, Jeff.
But just have you ever thought of this? What if there was someone whose name was Max and they just loved HBO, so their friends called them HBO Max? Now, do you think in this circumstance they would be upset that there's now a streaming service with that name, or would they enjoy that?
I think they'd be thrilled. Yeah.
I think they would not like it because because then they would never know if someone was talking about them or the service.
Well, I'm sure they'd know. No one's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to watch In the Heights on HBO Max. And he's going to be like, you're going to watch it on me? I don't think he's going to have that issue.
He's like, he brings it up on his phone and puts it on his chest. And it's all right, I guess we're doing this.
Why does this keep happening? They're like, you're HBO Max. You love HBO. He's like, I guess. You make a point.
Dude, you'll see. And next year, HBO is totally gonna run a series of commercials with the character HBO Max.
Yeah, it's gonna be their big hit show to bring people in.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's finish this off with Patreon. We want to thank our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Karstcast. If you can't get enough of us, then that's the place to go. You can't get enough of Jeff and I. Head on over to patreon.com/Karstcast, where you can get a huge backlog of bonus episodes. They come out twice a month over there, video and audio. We play GeoGuessr and answer your questions. And every month we do monthly Zoom hangouts.
Every month. It's actually the hangouts.
The hangouts are great. Yeah. And you also get shout outs at the end of every episode. And sometimes if we ever have something special, you get an early announcement or early access to it. So yeah, tons of perks and also just a great way to support us. So yeah, patreon.com/Karstcast. And here are those names. As soon as they arrange.
I mistimed that
alphabetically. Thank you, Ben Chow, Blake Root, Boat Boy, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, Daniel Cook, David Sir, Eden, Gavin Henderson, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, Haytham Khan, I Don't Live in Ohio, Iva, Jaden Easton, Jacob Colness, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Judy S, KDT, Kaylee Patney, Liv Rob Martin, Def, Marilee Borslow, Meridian, Monroe Page, Nora B, Parks, Riley Ost, Robert Burke, Scumbag from the Book of Dirtbag, Skylar Ermel, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werben, Jagerman Jensen, The Monopoly Man, Tom Lakes Beans, Vegard Strom, Vera S, Wes Kinley, Xavier Fossier, Yusef A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Karstcast patrons.
Thank you, Karstcast patrons.
My favorite group.
My favorite group of people online.
Besides my real life friends, so you're my second group. Favorite group of people.
Yeah. Our real life friends don't pay us every month. Unfortunately,
they don't. So honestly, actually, you know what?
Yeah, you guys are
better. Don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Cool. Jeff, do you have anything else to say?
Yes.
Tonight? Okay.
On the flip side.
Get you on the flip side.
Flip side.